What we do is we have people smell materials and talk about them. That is our training. In terms of sort of like assessing their capacity to smell, we don't really engage in that because it's not, it's their business, not ours. But things I have seen, I mean, there's the two strip test, where you have one strip without a smell on it and you have one strip with a smell on it and you see if you can perceive it. This is especially for people like me who've lost their sense of smell during COVID. This is something I've been doing a lot. But typically the sort of compare and contrast trick is the thing. So 1, 2, or 3 strips with different smells, and you go through and you just really observe the differences, especially with materials that are similar, like hexanyl cis-3 or hexanyl cis-3 or whatever, things that are very, very similar and serve similar purposes, but are nonetheless different. Comparing, observing, and contrasting with other things is super crucial. So that's mostly what we do when we're doing smell training.
Yeah.
But also, to be honest, verbalizing is a super crucial part of learning the materials. Talking about them allows you to remember them somehow. And so that's a huge part of it, is a lot of talking, noting and recording your impressions, organoleptic assessments, which is where you smell, you observe, you write down your impressions, you write down the amount of time it lasts on the strip, things like that. And just gathering as much data, but mining your own perception for the data versus reading it in a book, or asking other people. So in some ways it's very empowering for people because suddenly they're the expert on their own perceptions, which they are. Yeah.
And do you run into the problem of lack of vocabulary to describe smells?
Of course, it's almost, it's a cliche. Yeah. It's a cliche in my world, oh, there's no words to describe smell, But to that, I always say, yeah, sure, there are words. Actually, if you use the chemical language, if I say methyl cyclopentenolone and you've spelt that and that material, it's a very precise way of communicating to you. So the words are there. I mean, the language is there. It's chemical language. So actually, because of that, a big thing that we do at the Institute is we try to teach as many of those aromatic molecules as possible, because that is a precise way of communicating. With perfume, you get a lot. You get a lot into this poetic. Oh, it reminds me of my mother on a hot day, and blah, blah, It doesn't mean anything to anybody except the person who's saying it in the moment. And even then, I think often people are just saying things, like it doesn't actually have any purpose, other than poetry. So, yeah. So, I mean, the precision gets into chemical knowledge and materials knowledge. It's very easy. I mean, it's one of the things people say to me all the time is there's no language. And I'm like, there totally is a language. You just have to learn the damn chemicals, man. It's hard work, but it's precise.